So today I'm tasked with another fix that is one of the masters of the universe has lost his legs, and as you can see how they're built, there's just a rubber band through the hip, and as the rubber gets old it just breaks and cracks, and then the leg comes off. So in the first step I have to clear that part. So in a later step, in the second step, I will put in, you see, a little metal loop into, so I have to screw it in here, and the same on the other side. So first of all, in order to get the screw in, I have to remove the old rubber band, and what turned out to be quite helpful to do that is a sharp tipped Swiss Army knife that can go into the leg, and I can cut out the rubber as much as possible. So I've cleared it out now. So the next step is I need a rubber band to replace the original rubber that held the legs together, and that will be fastened with O-ring screws. So the ones I got are simply plumber rings I got from the do-it-yourself markets, and it's always a bit of a gamble and try and error which one is long enough. So this was the original one. This one looks a bit too long. Even if I fold it in half, no, it's too long. This one is a bit too short, so I put two together. These ones look quite okay. A very small one and a medium one. This should actually do. So I have to open again my universal tool, the Swiss Army knife. I put in the rubber into the O-ring. Okay. So with the rubber fastens, I can now drive the screw into the leg of the little masters of the universe here. So you see on that side, you see that there's the metal ring, and it's holding the rubber quite tight, and this rubber will now go through the hip, which is quite here. You can see that probably. So through this hole the rubber will be pulled through, and then it will be fastened on this leg. So for that purpose I have to put in a screw here as well, but first I have to open it a bit so that I can get in the rubber. Again, I do all this with my Swiss Army knife, but any other tool would do. So see, this is quite, because there's a rubber inside, and the very center of the leg is a bit soft. Driving the screw rather easily. So what helps me, because I did it before and it was not easy to pull the rubber through, so I put in a string here. I take an old chopstick, so that will help me then, oops, not losing my string here. So with this string I can then fasten the rubber band, and then pull the rubber band through the master's hip. Okay, here we go. Already hooked it in. Any bend will do. Now we go through. Put it here.
I see the car is nice and clean.
Here. What's the rubber? And
also the car is nice and clean. Do you see it?
okay. So now the band goes through the hip of the little man here, and I can pull the leg. It's a bit of a hassle here in all small space, but now I see I can pull the rubber band out and this leg is already in place. So now comes the trick of putting the rubber band here through that little hook and then fasten the hook, and then hopefully it should be alright. So pulling the rubber band through here. So, and now you see I don't need this band anymore. The rubber is already held up by my chopstick. So the next trick is putting in the hook. Okay, here we go, and closing it tightly. Where's my Swiss Army knife? Holding it and driving the screw into the leg of the mast. So here we go. So I'm putting the screw in as deep as possible, of course. Now I don't need the thing anymore, the chopstick. And now, okay, and here's the little man with his feet back. So if you really bend them backwards, you see the elastic bend. Otherwise, it's pretty much as it's supposed to be. He can stand again, he can bend his feet, he can move them any direction, and holding very strong, and I think it will hold just as long as the rubber band holds, which is probably again a couple of years. These ones, the original ones, were, I don't know, 30 years, so that's what I expect from my rubber bands as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video and do it yourself.